Welcome to today's video. Today is the last video of 2022. And so, for that, I thought that I would share with you one of the most useful tools that will help you throughout your spiritual journey. No matter which phase of spiritual practice you find yourself, today's lesson, when you learn to apply it and gain conviction in it, it will help you minimize obstacles on the path. It will help you transcend any obstacles that you are facing. So that's certainly coming up. Now, in this new year, I want to interact with you way more. I want to be able to help you in a new way. So, for that, I'm going to be launching a new channel. So, of course, this channel will continue going and I'll be posting videos here. But the new channel is going to be a platform where you will be able to submit certain questions, and I will choose certain questions every single week, and I will make a few videos every week answering those questions. So those videos are going to be more short format videos, maybe 5 to 15 minutes long. Each video is going to be focused in answering one question that I'm going to be choosing. I'll give you much more details as time goes on in the next week or two. For that, please make sure to join my email newsletter down below, because I'll be sharing all the details and sending all the links to join and submit all the questions over there. Okay. So the link for that is down below. But yeah, I just think that this year I want to keep the conversation going. I want to be of greater help to you and interact with you way more and really help you dissolve many of the complexities that you may be going through in regards to this practice and this teaching. So I think creating that channel and alongside the long form videos over here on this channel is going to be really, really impactful. So I'm very excited for that. Now, that's just the announcement I wanted to make. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season with your family. We have the new year coming up, and I'm wishing you the best with this new year. This year, double down on your devotion to this teaching. Understand it to be the most important thing that you can possibly do, knowing very well that anything else that you do is secondary. It is in the realm of form, in the realm of appearances. Really, nothing you do here is of much value. Nothing you do here is going to last. So, of course, all of that work will still go on, but the spiritual practice must become your main priority. Not that you want to become a spiritual robot and you just only care about spirituality. No. Be free in your personal expression. Do the things you want. Enjoy life, dance, paint, sing, work, enjoy. However, all of those things make it an avenue for spiritual wisdom, spiritual insight. Don't just go through life chasing experiences. Start to be alert, be aware, desire to transcend your limitations, yearn to know your source out of which all of this is arising. Make that curiosity your priormost priority. And that can never fail you, because then in this new year, no matter how many ups and downs you experience, successes and failures that you go through, you will use all of them for your own spiritual advancement, for your own growth, for your own understanding. So that is my word of advice as you enter this new year. So now let's proceed with the content of this video, which is, as I said, a very useful tool that's going to help you throughout your spiritual journey. Here it goes. Enjoy. The moment you catch yourself thinking, you just simply let it go. At least in moments of practice, when you're not working or doing anything, just like in moments of practice, the moment you acknowledge thought, you just let it go. Now, this is a very, very important tool on the spiritual practice, because it is thought which continues to feed our self-image and keep intact our belief systems, our limited notions and whole paradigm, which therefore keeps intact the suffering that we experience on behalf of it. So learning to just simply drop this mental chatter in moments of practice, in moments of recognition, is such a useful tool, because only that allows you to recognize that, wow, I can actually be without needing to talk about my existence. That even when thought stops, I still am. Here, thinking and awareness of experience start to unmix a little bit. Previously, we took awareness for granted, and we took the awareness to be the thinking, like thinking and knowing are synonymous in the personal state. But now you start to discover, by learning to just drop thought, you start to discover that even when thinking is not, there's a knowing of that. You start to understand the difference between description, describing, and observing. This is a very big one, because you start to notice how, like, observing is totally idealess. It is totally descriptionless, nameless, labelless. It's just learning to see things as they are. Whereas describing is the constant mental chatter, which is just, yapping around. And this mental chatter is so filtered with, so polluted with our conditioning, which is like where you were raised, what beliefs you were taught, your likes and dislikes and whatnot. It's not really genuine. It's not really seeing things the way they are. We constantly filter it through this constant description of our conditioning, that is based on our conditioning. So we really start to see the difference between description and observation. Today, I wanted to go a little, um, deeper into that, offering another tangent on that same practice of just learning to drop it. And that's what I would like you to experiment with while we're here together. And you can, if you have any difficulty with it, you can share afterwards and we could work through it. But it is the same principle that, of course, you just drop thought, but we're going to do it in a different way. So here, I want you to be here and now, and don't hold any language. So, total refusal to harbor any language. It does not matter where you are in the world, what you speak, how many languages you speak. Here and now, no languages. Refuse to hold any language in the mind right now. Words may arise, but just let them go. Don't entertain any words. Even if it arises and says, how do I just let it go? Don't even entertain that. You see, you're entertaining words. Just let go of all words. Have no interest in any words. Don't hold any words. You see, your thinking becomes very limited if you refuse to harbor any language, any words. Then at best, the mind may arise as in the form of some images or whatever, but it's not nearly as powerful. It's not nearly as powerful in its capacity to keep you hooked. But here and now, like notice how all of thoughts, or at least most of them, are just language. That is what language is. Language fragments reality. It compartmentalizes reality. Language is just description, labels, certain sounds that mean that point to certain things. Language is a fragmentation of what is into many things. Language is a distortion of reality as it is. Don't fall for such doubts and resistances to this statement right now. Like, but then what? Do we not use language ever again? And but are you saying like, learn to let those doubts rest? They're not important. Don't worry, no one's taking language away from you. Surely it's useful for the experiencing to take place. But right now, we're not just satisfied with mere experiencing it and being a person. We're trying to get to the bottom of this. We're trying to uncover the essence of our experience. It's very important for us to acknowledge what language actually is. See how it is simply just fragments, definitions, judgments, labels, compartments. So, in this practice, when you refuse to harbor any language, any words, what remains? Don't put words to that, just be that, experience that. Initially, the lack of language or lack of words may even bore you, but get past that phase of resistance. This lack of language isn't empty. You will discover an utter fullness here that you can never find in words. Again and again, you may find words arising, talking about what is being said, have no interest in them, let them go. No language, no words. You see, feels safe to think. It feels safe to use language, to constantly think about my existence. But who are you when you put aside thinking about your existence? As what do you remain here when you no longer think about your existence in this moment? Comprehend the magnitude of that. You need language, you need to rely on language to constantly create an idea about who you are. The self image is made up of descriptions only, of judgments, of labels. Your past, your story, this constant narrative about who you are is not what you are. It is just language. It exists only on the idea level. If we set this aside right now, you don't disappear, but you do cease to be a mere person. By learning to set aside language, words, thoughts, concepts, ideas, we are discovering our storyless being, our impersonal being. Impersonal meaning that which is not a person, our being. Our formless essence. This is why the root of this teaching is silence. Because in concepts, in words, there can never be wisdom. There can only be fragmenting experience. There can only be this and that. There can only be duality. There can only be names and stories. In the absence of descriptions, you just start seeing things the way they are at every level. So that's the invitation as we talk about the practice here during your 2 sit down sessions per day. Refuse to harbor any language, right? Just let it go. And you do that by a very practical way of doing that is just bringing your attention again and again to your pointer, to your anchor, either the sensation, or if you are in the self-inquiry teachings, then you bring your attention to attention itself. Awareness of awareness, awareness of being. Notice that both of those things, awareness of sensation and awareness of being, are both conceptless, wordless contemplations. And then during the day, you have to recognize how useless your psychological chatter is. Think when you need to, think when you need to solve a problem, think when you need to work, think whenever you feel you need to, whenever you need to plan and whatever. But really start observing how no matter what you're doing or not doing, there's this constant describing of your existence. This is the fuel for the self-image, the ego. This is the lifeline, the blood of personal identity of ego, the not self, the hypnosis. So rather than supplying that, cut the source. Do your best. Don't struggle against yourself. Don't battle against yourself. Whatever degree this teaching, whatever impact this teaching needs to have on you, it will have on you. You know, you don't need to work hard at that. But just continue to see the need of it. Do your best to practice. And whatever comes of that, just continue on. If it's successful or unsuccessful, just continue on. Because once again, if you start struggling against yourself, again, that's only happening at the language level. Once again, you're just identifying with the describer, judging, resisting this and that. So even if that's happening, drop even that. See the uselessness in even that. So in this way, we start to discover our silent, conceptless being. In the beginning, is very hard for us to trust this path because one, it just seems too difficult. But that's why we meet here, to see how it is possible to have the support of each other who are doing the same thing. And also the second part is like we resist it because we really have a great sense of identity in our thinking, in our ideas and our beliefs, which are all thought made. So the mind will resist this because it's almost like fire touching water. Fire will do anything it can to run away from water. They cannot coexist. So will the ego also do its best to continue to maintain itself through the constant self-chatter. Rise above it. Let that be one of the themes of your personal existence, your spiritual practice. Look at this also as like your life's work. You know, you may be a doctor or a plumber or maybe even a movie star. Doesn't matter what you do on the vocational level. That is personal. But despite what you do, make this your life's work. Let the cleansing happen. It's already happening. Give yourself more and more over to this inner being, this inner silence. Let the mental impressions, the karma, or whatever you want to call it, unravel by itself. And it's already happening. You're just sort of now acknowledging it and giving yourself over to the process rather than fighting and clinging and resisting to the known. This is meditation. This is surrender. I hope that today's video helped you. As I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to be in the loop about all the things that I have coming up for 2023 in regards to this channel and the new channel, join my newsletter. I'm linking that down below. In the description below, I also have many other resources that you can take advantage of. So please feel free and take a look at that and find what resonates most with you. Have a happy new year. I'm wishing you the very best, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.